So clearly, lots of sunflowers. We have several varieties of vegetables at any time of the year. Up until like November, we're growing and harvesting. So the hardier lettuces like kale and Swiss chard and collard greens are going pretty much year round. A bunch of lettuces. We have tomatoes. This is amaranth. This is really popular with the Bangladeshi community members. They really like to eat that, both the greens and the seeds. So we grow a lot of that. This farm is all take what you need and give what you can. So that means that none of this is plots. Nobody owns any of this. It's all grown for everyone to enjoy. So you can come and harvest whatever you want, whatever you need. And if you don't know how to harvest something, there's someone here who can teach you how. So we're open every Saturday and Sunday from 12:30 to dusk year round. And this lot has been open since 2011. Right now, the owner who owns this property, who has allowed us to use the property until now, is asking us to leave so that he can develop the land. So we're trying to stay here. And how we're trying to do that is we're asking that city officials and government help us to maintain the land and perhaps offer the landlord another space, because we've done a lot to make this a community space. Not only do we provide free organic food for the community, but it's also a garden and a play space for young people, and it's an education space. So we have the first generation of young people who helped us clean up this lot when they were 9 and 10 are now graduating from high school, and they still come. There's one right behind you right now. Hey! How's it going? So you can see that mural over there on one of our sheds is also Dee, before and after. Do you want to talk a little bit about Bushwick City Farm and what it's meant to you?
I mean, it's a nice place to come, learn how to grow stuff, learn how to build. Like some of these stuff we help build.
These hexagonal planter beds,
yeah.
You built several of them.
Yeah. It was a fun place to hang out, come learn about gardening, hands-on stuff. Really manly. All right.
Hi, good to see you.
You too. All right, see you. Thank you very much.
So yeah, kids from the community are very involved, as are folks who live in the housing just around here on all sides. So we have a lot of friends, and it's a way for me, as somebody who has been living in Brooklyn for only 10 years but didn't grow up here, it's a way for me to really feel grounded and part of my community, because folks who have lived here longer than me, we might not be able to meet each other in a lot of other spaces. So this is a place where we can, nobody owns it, it's for everyone, and we can all come in. And I've made a lot of friends just from spending time here. So we also have fruit trees behind the plants right here. There are fig trees, nectarines, we have apple trees, almond trees. There's a hybrid tree that has plums and apples and something else on it too that I don't remember what. Peppers of all kinds, hot and otherwise. We have you might recognize this plant. Really popular in the South. We have cucumbers, different kinds of squash. We have one kind of squash that the Bangladeshi ladies call mishti kumra, and they eat the leaves of that squash. So this is kind of all of these leaves get harvested, the fruits get harvested. It's kind of wild back in here. And then over here is where we have the Aquaponics Project, which was built on a grant this last year. Citizens Committee gave us the grant, and so this bed is not yet being planted, it's just growing duckweed, which we'll use to feed our ducklings and also feed the fish, the tilapia, which are in that larger container. So the system is solar powered, which means that there are some solar panels that they put up on top of the gazebo, and that power runs the pump, which pumps the water back up into this top tank, and then gravity feeds it down into that bed where the tilapia are. It oxygenates the water. The fish fertilize the water with their poop, and then the plants use that fertilization as growing power. The water is filtered through and into this bed, and then to this bed, and a sump tank below, and then it goes back up using the solar power. So this is completely green, off the grid, totally renewable energy. We have composting back in the corner there, and then we have chickens. The littlest of whom is right here. She's sleepy today. And that artist was interested in offering their talents to the farm through a mural. So they took a picture of the kids building a hexagonal planter bed, and then over a couple of days painted that for us. So that's a piece by Elemental PI, and the kids are still actively engaged at the farm, however many years later now, 4 years later.